Good evening, everybody. Calling this meeting to order, our September 5th business meeting, also on the first day of school. Welcome, everybody. We hope your days were wonderful and special. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And may we have a motion, please, to move out of executive session? Maria, second. Sue?
Sure, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Any alterations to the agenda? I don't believe. I think everything is fairly straightforward. And visitors speaking time. We do have a policy, and we do encourage and welcome people to come and address the board. The Board of Education invites the public to comment on matters regarding the school district. The public comment section of the meeting is a time for the Board of Education to listen. As a courtesy, we ask that you limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. Comments naming specific personnel should be addressed privately or in writing to the board in order to protect individuals' rights. Matters that would infringe upon student privacy will not be addressed in this public forum. With that being said, is there anyone present who would like to address the board? Okay, so there's another event going on this evening that has brought everybody here. Would those representing the Webster Retired Education Association teachers please come to the front and say hello? You may sit wherever you like.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.
I still got familiar faces around here that ex-parents, ex-teachers. This is the 17th year that the WREA has been presenting the Citizenship Award to an elementary student. I'd like to thank Carm, the board, and all the principals for helping us out with that. Each student tonight is being honored for their service, scholarship, leadership, and sportsmanship. Being an ex-phys ed teacher, I always love statistics. And of the 49 people from 6th grade to 12th grade last year who were former winners, 37 are on the high honor roll, 5 on the high honor roll, 3 on the honor roll, and 4 have moved on to other districts. So that's pretty significant for the teachers who chose those students in the very beginning. And without further ado, we'll move on with our presentation, and we're going to start with going to schools in alphabetical order, and Deb Beckman-Hein will present DeWitt.
Good evening. I'm Deb Beckman-Hein, and I am the representative for DeWitt Road Elementary School. Our winner is Jolie O'Brien. Jolie is a DeWitt Road Elementary School recipient of this honor. She is an exceptional student with a heart of gold who demonstrates integrity. This panda is thoughtful and genuine. She is keenly aware when classmates need to feel included, some empathetic listening, or someone to play or sit with, or just a hug. Jolie was a member of the School Safety Patrol and Club Impact, where she took on many leadership roles. She organized items from the school's Hat and Mitten Drive and donated them to Hope House. She also took the time to organize food from a food drive and create boxes for local families, led the school project of creating a quotes, jokes, and puns book for students, read to younger students, and she sang in the choir. Jolie is on the Silver One team with the Webster Bluefin Swim Club and serves as a coach's assistant for youth volleyball kids. Congratulations, Jolie.
Thank you. So the book, the joke book that you put together last year, I used one of those jokes on my opening day speech. There's a couple good dad jokes in there. That was awesome. So thank you for that.
Okay. I'm Heidi Zestowney. I'm here representing Clem Road North, and I would like to have Megan Martin stand up so we know who she is, where she is. Yeah, come on up. Have her come up? Okay. Come on up, Megan. Megan Martin is the Clem Road North Elementary School Citizenship Award winner. She was a bus safety, worked on the school morning show, participated in 2 solo fests and Community Arts Day, was named 5th grade band practice champion, was part of the pit band for Mrs. Fellon's 1st grade play, and joined the Clem North Wolf Brigade. Within the community, she swims for the Webster Bluefins, where she has mentored new swimmers. She is also a member of the Episcopal Church of the Good Shepherd, where she is active in the junior choir and has volunteered at the homeless shelter, playing with the children staying there. Megan frequently volunteers at the Webster Hope House, and in lieu of birthday gifts, has asked for gift cards to be donated for families during the holiday season. She's also raised money for the American Heart Association and the Tour de Cure American Diabetes Association. Nice job, Megan.
Awards, I think citizenship is the most important, and you will treasure this forever because it represents so many important things in life. Here's one.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dana Dugan, representative from Clem South, and I'd like to follow in Heidi's footsteps and call Caitlin Mitchell up to the jury box. All right. Caitlin is Clem Road South's award recipient. She always gives her best effort, consistently showing pride in her work, strives for excellence in the classroom, and participates in class. Kate led by example not only in the classroom, but also in extracurricular activities such as chorus, band, solo fest, and mindful mornings. And that must be something new at Clem South since I left 20 years ago. Throughout the year, this penguin was a school safety and competed in Odyssey of the Mind. She was a great sport both in the classroom and beyond. She consistently encourages classmates to do their best and treats everyone with fairness, generosity, and courtesy. Kate dances 4 days a week, having won a dance scholarship at her studio for her dedication and hard work and achievement. Plus, she received an individual award for her tap class, and I have no doubt that she is going to carry all of this success on with her as she continues her education. Good.
I'm Andrea David, and I'm representing Plank North Elementary School, and I would like Piper Alexander to join me. Piper Alexander is Plank North Elementary School Citizenship Award winner. She was active in the Pioneers Morning Show, band, choir, and drum ensemble. She also competed in the school's Battle of the Books and helped wrap and deliver gifts for the School 17 Giving Project. Piper is involved with Pioneer Girls as well as activities at her church. She has an exceptional work ethic, striving to do her best. She leads by setting a good example for all to follow and is confident with who she is. Piper is also well respected by her peers. Whether she is playing volleyball in physical education class or working with her group on a novel in the classroom, Piper is able to set the right tone for a positive and productive experience. She is a leader as well as a team player. Congratulations again.
I'm Dennis Kuhn from Plank South School, retired for some length of time, actually. But it's great to be here. I'm delighted to be here. And with me is the Plank South Citizenship Award recipient, Loren Roberts. And Loren Roberts is the award recipient for Plank Road South Elementary School. She is compassionate, thoughtful, and the definition of integrity. Loren volunteers with various activities at St. Joseph's Church, has participated in community action projects through Girls on the Run, and at Plank South has volunteered in many classrooms working with younger students. Her teachers describe her as the total package: smart, kind, caring, selfless, generous, athletic, and hardworking. This kind-hearted eagle is a student who goes the extra mile and is someone who can be counted on. Loren puts others before herself, is a friend to all, and is willing to help classmates and teachers. Congratulations, Loren.
Hi, I'm the representative from Schlegel Road, Cathy Foster, and I'd like to present to all of you Francesca Rayo. And she is the elementary school recipient of the Citizenship Award from Schlegel Road School. She is consistently ready for academics and shows pride by striving to set goals and grow. She displays an open mindset and starts each day with a positive attitude. Frankie is consistently willing to help others, is open to work with any student who asks and responds with kindness. At Schlegel, Frankie played percussion in the band and was a member of the safety patrol, working with kindergarten students in the morning and walking students to their buses in the afternoon. Choosing to be kind, show empathy, and be herself comes naturally for her. Frankie's interest in protecting the environment drives her to pick up garbage as well as to help animals and nature when she can. She also participated in the Smile Dinner fundraiser at Nazareth College. I'd like to present Francesca Rayo.
Hi, I'm Maureen Johnson. I'm representing State Road. And last but not least, this is Jack Frenzel. He's the recipient this year, the award recipient from State. And at State Road, he was a member of the band, the chorus, the safety patrol, and K-Kids. He also served as a bus buddy to a special friend in first grade and a reading buddy to several other first graders. It is because of his ingenuity and desire to help his friends that he initiated in class a tally system to help a friend remember to wear his earpiece by making it a race between his friend getting the earpiece in and the teacher getting her microphone around her neck. The teacher told me that most often the guys won. Jack problem solves in ways that keep everyone motivated and helps others by coaching and supporting their efforts. He can be trusted with any task and has the ability to see the whole person and the goodness in everyone. He is a true example of someone who puts others before himself and brings out the best in everyone. Besides all of what he does in school, he is also a member of the Webster Bluefins. Congratulations, Jack.
Go ahead. You're going to announce your ice cream?
No, I was just going to speak to the people.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to have a short reception in the library. There's your the cafeteria. As you go out this door and you go to the right, the cafeteria is right down there. Little ice cream and cupcakes.
And before our award recipients leave, toss me your stuff already. We need to get a picture, so I can tweet it out. Right? Yeah. It doesn't happen unless it's on Twitter. So the 7 recipients can come up.
There's always a photo op with Carmen. Thank you all to the Webster Retired Educators Association for your work in recognizing these students. We're all so proud of them. What a great job. Congratulations, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for being here.
Now everybody thinks. Good.
Yeah, while she was gone, but
Who's that? Oh. It's that 50-50 split. You're right. Plank North. Yeah. It was probably
It was her student.
It was her student. That was so sweet.
All of them were.
Yeah. It's so impressive.
Are we
Stats
continuing?
incredible.
Wait a second.
Too. That's a good one.
And from our celebrations on to instructional reports. First report will be the opening day from our superintendent.
Thank you. Well, it was quite the opening day. Sort of historical, wasn't it?
Very much
So 4 years of study and planning and preparation. Yeah, and it went off today. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I'll get to that in a second. So, again, congratulations to our WREA Citizenship Award winners. I can't wait to see how they will continue to make a difference in our community, not only this year, but for the next 7 years and beyond. They are an impressive group of young people and who show every day how much that they care about others, and they're wonderful role models, no matter how old we are. So, let the adventure begin. Today, our district welcomed nearly 8,400 students back to school. 7 elementary schools, 2 middles, and 2 high schools equal a 1 Webster community. And we're excited for the 1920 school year. What a day it has been. As you might be able to tell from the pictures that you'll be seeing up on our screen, joy ruled the day. As I had the opportunity and privilege to visit 8 of our buildings, I'll hit the other 3 tomorrow, to welcome, again, nearly 8,400 students and 1,600 faculty and staff back for another year together. As I welcomed back our faculty and staff earlier this week, we talked about finding our voice this year as we compassionately connect and joyfully engage and always learn with our students and with each other throughout the coming year. I'm here to tell you that I was thrilled to hear the enthusiastic voices of our staff and students finding their voices this morning. The buzz and energy around the district was just incredible. Whether it was a kindergarten teacher greeting a new student or our middle school teachers high-fiving incoming 6th graders, voices greeting the new year could be heard everywhere I went. As I'm reflecting on this opening day, I want to take a moment to thank all of our families who experienced the very first day of our shift to new start times. Together, we will continue working through this change together and the positive difference I'm confident it will have in our students' lives. Our youngest students were at school at either 7:40 or 7:50 this morning, and many of our teens had an extra spring in their step today as they had an extra 75 minutes of sleep as they started their day at 8:45. We do have, I think, Paul, do we have a snippet from, yep. So here's some coverage from WHAM, or 13 WHAM today. They were out live this morning at Thomas, so we wanted to share some of that with you.
Students in Mr. Mahoney's first period math class might be more learning ready this school year. That's because 6th through 12th graders will start the school day later, 8:45 at the high school instead of 7:30.
It really is around the well-being, especially around the mental health of our older students. And it's tied into science and biology.
Webster Thomas senior Jonathan Hogg is a busy guy. He's on the swim team. He runs his own landscaping business. And he agrees a later start time is a better fit for the teenage biological clock.
I'll definitely still have more energy going into the second half of the day than I would last year.
I taught first and second period AP biology. They were zombies. And then I would teach 6th and 7th period AP Bio, and it was like, oh, okay, now I see what you're like when you're awake.
Other big changes in Webster include a revamped and much larger library at Thomas High School and a new cafetorium at Spry Middle School.
So, and again, so Mr. Embledge and I did that piece last week, and it aired, I think it aired yesterday or today, I forget. But they're also live on campus at Thomas this morning. And I can honestly say that I did not see too many zombies today. As I mentioned in the news package, at either the middle schools or at the high schools, kids were raring to go. And I shared a story with the board before we started our meeting tonight of a few students that came up to me at the tennis match about an hour ago here at Schrader, and they came up and they said, "Thank you so much. We've never felt so rested and so good for a day of school." And they weren't trying to suck up to me or anything like that. I mean, it was they were being very sincere. It was wonderful to see. So the kids were raring to go, and that was also evident from positive reports about Wonder Care, the district's new before and after school program that is now available at all 7 of our elementary schools. I'm greatly anticipating checking in with our students all year long to follow up on how the start change is impacting their overall physical and mental health. And we will have more to report on that at future board meetings. As a district, there is much to be grateful for today, especially our families, especially thankful for our families. Thank you to all Webster parents for being our continued partners in education as we navigate this new year and our new start times together. We're off to a great start. Now next, I'd like to highlight the work that our district is continuing to do in the area of financial literacy. Webster is one of only a few districts statewide that now requires a personal finance course for students to graduate. Our district began offering this course last year, and the class of 2020 will be the first to graduate with this course as a required course of study. Webster's work around financial literacy was recently the topic of a meeting in our district with the New York State's Comptroller's Office. They sought us out because of our leadership with this course. And thanks to the leadership of Webster Schrader business teacher Trish DeBacco, who was part of that meeting, and Trish and her teammates over the past few years have really helped our district lead the way in emphasizing the value and importance of financial literacy to all of our graduates. New York State took notice, and they reached out to us to have a conversation about it. Trish was at the comptroller's meeting Mr. Neenan was about 3 weeks ago, was at this meeting to discuss our work in this area, along with board member Sue Casey and myself and Deputy Superintendent Brian Neenan and our Director of Data Informatics, Eric Blask. I continue to be thankful for the board's support on this and also on Trish's leadership that have really lifted financial literacy as an educational priority, not only in our district but throughout the state. Trish recently participated in a Next Gen Personal Finance podcast that traced her involvement with increasing access to financial education in our district. It's an informative conversation, and you can listen by visiting NGPF, that podcast, that site that you see up on our screen. And I would be remiss if I didn't really thank Sue Casey, who dogged pursuit of financial literacy and this course over the last 15 years is really the reason why we have this course in our district. If Sue were not part of this board, and if she had not been patient and really had persevered and been resilient enough over the last decade and a half, this doesn't happen. So thank you, Sue, for your leadership with that.
You're welcome.
And I promise the next really good idea you have, you don't have to wait 15 years. Okay? So
That would be nice.
And I'd like to close my report with a quick reminder about all of the ways that our district communicates with you throughout the year. Be sure to visit our website, websterschools.org, for up-to-date information on our schools, about news stories, about staff directory, athletic schedules, a calendar, and so much more. You can also follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter. Our district Twitter handle is at WCSDProud, and you can also follow me at SuperWebsterCSD. We also have a YouTube channel. Webster Schools Proud is the name of that channel, and it highlights the many stories of our students and staff that make up our One Webster community. Lastly, the district uses the Infinite Campus parent-student portal to communicate everything from class grades to those beloved snow day announcements. Please visit our website to find out more about how you can sign on and sign in to the parent-student portal if you haven't done so already. So that ends, this will probably be the longest superintendent's report that you have throughout the entire year, but that ends my supersized SOUPS back-to-school report. Yes, so that ends my report. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Before we continue with board business, I know I speak on behalf of the entire board when we say that we know there's been a substantial amount of work that has gone behind preparing for opening day, the change in start time from the bus schedules in the transportation department to parents and what they've had to do to change their schedules. Everything that we do, we believe sincerely that we do in the best interest of the children of this district. So for everybody who put effort into this, thank you very, very much. And now our first item of business is our board vacancy. The board accepted the resignation of Dave Metzger at a recent summer regular meeting during executive session, which occurred prior to our August meeting. Mr. Metzger cited personal reasons for his resignation. The board, therefore, has a couple different options to fill a vacancy. We can leave a position vacant until the next election. We can appoint an individual, and we can hold a special election within 90 days, or the superintendent may appoint if that doesn't happen. This board decided to give notice of the opening through local publication, which is the Herald, our local newspaper, and on our district website, and we will receive letters of interest from residents until at which point, after September 20th, hopefully we receive enough letters to conduct interviews and generate interest and see where that leads us. Qualifications to be a board member are posted on our website, as well as the responsibilities and the obligations of being a board member. So we look forward to receiving letters of interest and interviewing potential candidates, and want very much for this process to be open and transparent. Thank you. All right. And then next is...
Tammy?
Yes.
Just want to make sure that that the public understands that our press release will go out tomorrow morning about this vacancy, and it'll hit the Herald, I think, it'll hit the Herald next week, but they will not see, they won't see information about it right now on our website, but it'll hit tomorrow morning, okay?
Thank you, yes. And the next item of business is the voting delegate for the New York State School Board Association Conference, which will be held in Rochester. We, in the past, have had someone lingers because generally the conference has ended, the convention has ended. And that makes, hopefully, attendance this year a little bit easier because it is in Rochester. So Is anybody interested or would consider being the voting delegate for Webster? Would occur on Saturday, October 26th, beginning at 8 a.m.
I did it last year, as you know, in
Yeah.
New York City. And I think it is a truly wonderful experience, and I think it sets sort of your mind for some of the important, not only resolutions, but where we're going in terms of encouraging Albany to see our point of view. I guess I would encourage any board member who would like that opportunity to do it. I think it's incredibly worthwhile.
We have a little bit of time to consider. Do you-
Actually, I'm happy to do it. I was wondering,
Okay.
that we do have one of our staff members, Isaac Collins, presenting, and I don't remember, was he Saturday morning or Friday morning?
I don't remember, but he's presenting with his wife.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember.
The one thing is, I cannot make the meeting in Canandaigua. I'm going to be out of town, but
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. So why don't you pencil me in if nobody else is interested? And, I mean, I've done it before, so if Mr. Collins was speaking, I mean, I could just go to the meeting late.
Right.
You know, because it's not, it's not like yes, you vote individually, but there's masses of people there. So one person isn't going to make a difference if I miss the first couple votes.
Right.
So, okay.
Okay. Well, thank
Will
you for
Cindy help me
offering
fill
and
out this-
considering.
Will Cindy help me fill out this form, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you,
Cindy will do it, okay.
yeah, I never filled out the
Okay.
form last year.
Thank you, Cindy, even though you're not here.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, we have the Professional Development Plan Certification. Mr. Neenan is going to help us through that process. So we have signed and submitted our certification to the State Ed Department for our Professional Development Plan.
Yeah. Right. Today was just signing it, and then,
Okay,
yeah. And then,
okay. So we'll wait for the presentation.
The presentation will be
Okay.
in November's, it's on the docket for that, so, yeah, that's what we did last year, too.
and
Yep.
we haven't, you
We have to actually certify it, and by September 1st is what we're supposed to do, so we can have it on file for auditing purposes at the state level. But we present the actual plan, and we do have the plan. That's really what you're certifying, is that we have the plan. We'll present it in November.
Okay.
Okay?
Excellent, thank you.
Does the state actually read the plan, or we're just certifying?
No.
They even told us that most recent audit.
Okay.
They said that the only time they read it is when you're audited. So, 'cause it's our duty.
Yes,
needs
of
to be
course.
there.
Doing
Yes.
the right thing.
Right, but we would do it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, I said.
Funny was that New York State tells you, we don't even read them. They don't have the capacity.
No, they don't.
Thank you.
It's our
Moving
job.
on, we have the Treasurer's Report for June of 2019. Mr. Freeman.
Sure. I just want to point out, if you've noticed, June historically is a low cash flow month, so you see the balances running down because we don't have tax collections, but we have a lot of bills that go out in June. So the one thing I just want to point out, you see how we draw back on our investments for that month. We have fewer investments locked up for the month of June than you historically see in the previous months. And then I just wanted to point out as well, you see on our capital fund, you see a negative there. That's because we're paying for ongoing construction for Spry and Thomas that had started in the months prior to that. So a lot of the timing of those payments going out left a big negative as we're using our savings to off-put the borrowing for as long as possible. Any questions on the treasurer's report?
I don't believe so. Can we have a motion then to accept the Treasurer's Report as reported? By Mike,
Second?
second by Sue, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have also the tax certiorari cases that you're going to share with us?
Sure. So this is for information only. I wanted to give the board an update on where we are. So I broke down how many tax certiorari cases the district has that we're interceding on. So what I've listed is between Penfield and Webster, what properties, and for 1920, what the potential refund would be if we didn't intercede in these cases, that in a reduction in assessment, that we would, worst case scenario, this is the check we have to write, per se. So for 1920, just a tad under $1.6 million in new claims. And then I did not list everything from the preceding years that is still in process, but overall, total ongoing with the new 1920 adds about $4.3 million to our potential liability here. And this is what we do for the auditors as part of our audit process to justify money in our tax certiorari reserve, to show them the potential claims against the district and how much money we need to set aside for those cases. So it's a direct correlation. That reserve ties directly to this. And since we had action in August on the reserves, specifically adding money to our tax certiorari reserve, because of this, I wanted just to update the board on those properties, because we are one of the, have significantly more of these than a lot of other districts. So this chews up a significant amount of the business office's fall season, and with the back and forth with these cases. In addition, any questions on the tax certiorari's?
I was just going to say, this seems like it's more than other years?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, it is increased.
And your thoughts on why?
Equalization rate, I think.
Okay.
The constant dropping in the equalization rate, I think,
Okay.
has created that. That's my personal opinion.
Mhm.
Some of these are repeat, a couple of them are new. So.
Okay. I get it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was on information, so we
Yep.
can move on.
And then just one other
Yes.
thing I wanted to point out is just to show you how much we had in our reserve right now. So our potential is 4.3. Worst case scenario, we have about 3.1 in our, knowing full well we'll never have to pay out that full amount because we are interceding. So we have about 3.1 in the reserve right now, just as a frame of reference for everybody. And then the other thing I wanted to point out right now, and normally I list these for you individually, but this year, the small claims assessment reviews that we get into the office, I think last year we only had 15, Lisa, I think, between Penfield and Webster. This year we have 176 small claims challenges against the district.
So these personal?
Personal property, yep. The home residential properties where, it's a one-page filing. Quite often, you've probably seen in your mailbox from several local attorneys,
Yes.
tax specialists saying,
We can get
we
you
can,
lower.
we can get you lower taxes. So usually those ebb and flow depending on how many mailboxes those hit. I think we got a reprieve last year because they turned their attention to Rondequoit and Brighton had reassessments and a significant amount of challenges in those school districts and towns. So I think we're up to 178 claims. It is. So smaller amounts. We average somewhere around that 7,500 to 10,000. We'll probably be somewhere north of that for this year, but that'll shake out as fall progresses.
And in light of all this, do we still think the 3.1 million's the right amount to have in that fund?
I'm comfortable with that
Are you
amount.
comfortable? Okay.
Adding a little bit every year, because I don't, see these going away. This has been a continuous, economic issue for us. So, working with our auditors and our attorneys of what's appropriate, we have that conversation every year.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Moving on to our board reports, our school liaison reports. I know we're looking forward to very full calendars, and
Maria and we both attended the Willink and the Spry sixth grade web orientation on August 21st. And it was jam-packed with the gathering of the web leaders and the sixth graders. And the gym was full of enthusiasm and high energy and tremendous welcoming spirit. It's interesting to note that Principal Jim Bear at Spry gave Maria and I a tour of all the new stuff that was going on, and it's amazing what's going on there. It's just so nice to see all the fruits of the labor that's being done. Thank you, Jim, and thank you, web leaders, because the sixth grade orientation was a tremendous success.
PTSA meetings this year are going to be beginning at 6 p.m. rather than 6:30. And the first one is being held on Monday, September 16th at 6 in the DeWitt Road Library. And everybody's welcome to attend.
Schlegel Road School's first PTSA meeting is Tuesday, September 17th at 4 o'clock, and Plank North's is Monday, September 23rd at 6 p.m.
Clem North is also Monday, September 16th at 6:30.
And I'll be at State Road, and I know we've talked about rotating through so that we overlap. There may be more than one board member at any particular school, and certainly between the 4 secondary schools, so that we're get to see other schools and other teachers and see the fruits of the labor of students in other places. Also, we will be welcoming our student liaison representatives in October. Maham Abbas and Lillianne Privatera from Schrader, Amy Colley and Sam Stacy will be back again with us from Thomas. We also would like to extend an invitation to WEN and the FIRE group, Families Igniting Racial Equality, are welcome at any time to show up at our meetings and generate a report or share their progress with us. So we're trying to extend and welcome and be everywhere that we can be, and Linda's going to tell us a little bit more about our calendar.
Our very full calendar. On Monday, September 9th, we will be attending the opening Central PTSA meeting. I just found it. It's at 6:30. In order for the board to be able to be at more school events, I have put a calendar together and I shared it to all of you this evening. It will list every school PTSA meeting, sporting events, musicals. I will also get band, orchestra, and chorus events in there also. And that way we can all look at it. It'll be interactive. You can add things as you know them, and it'll give us an opportunity to be out and about and able to attend more school activities, and also at schools that we don't often get a chance to go to because we don't represent them. So I'm excited. I think this will really help keep us organized and give us an opportunity to be in more buildings. And we will also start, once school gets into full swing, we'll start our learning walks again, which is the highlight of the year. We're looking forward to that again. So we'll get that going probably in October once school starts. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for organizing all of that. And the Monroe County School Board Association meetings, I believe legislative already happened.
Yep.
Okay.
Legislative was yesterday. And I gave Jan her updated packet, and Mike, as past president, you are also so here's your updated portions of your folder for representatives and dates and stuff. It was a very well-attended meeting, and a lot is happening at the federal level and at the state level. I'll just briefly go over the minutes. The governor did sign into law Aaron's Law, which now requires school districts to teach children about personal safety with regard to child abuse. And I believe that's K-8. Yeah. So that's something that we'll be doing. Is that required this year, or do we have a year?
Yeah. It's out.
Well, okay, good. Okay. So we have time to prepare. The There were some summer federal meetings, and Monroe County School Board provided Congressman Morelli with a letter of support from Monroe County School Board supporting the Higher Education Act, Higher Education Funding Act, I should say, and also in support of addressing teacher shortages as well as Title II funding and loan forgiveness. So we're supporting those things with Senator Morelli. He did agree to enter our letter into the congressional record, so we'll be noted there. They also met with somebody from Senator Schumer's office and discussed, teacher shortages and bus driver and paraprofessional shortages as well as potential solutions. The priorities for the legislative committee will be this year foundation funding, which is always an issue, which we will always continue to advocate for changes there. Unfunded mandates, teacher and staff shortages, ESA reporting requirements, and startup funding for pre-K programs. And then there's the resolution meeting on October 5th. Now, we usually spend a few minutes at a board meeting discussing the resolutions. I don't know if we have that on our agenda, but we'll want to do that. Yeah, so it'll have to be 19th or the 5th or the 17th. So if we can, I don't think it's going to be a long discussion, and I really think if we all just read them and just discuss the ones that we don't agree with the recommendation of the resolution committee, then those, so generally, it might only be one or two, if any.
October 5th, you think?
Want to do it October 5th? Could we get that on the agenda? Okay, great.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things coming up, but because of all the things that are happening, they're offering, well, we always offer a law conference in September. There's a law conference that's offered by Monroe County School Board as well as one that's offered as part of the convention.
Is anyone interested in going to that?
I'm going to try to go.
Dave, are you interested in it?
Yeah. Are you interested, Mike?
Yes, I wonder, Lisa, could you tell,
So that's on September 26th, and I
Right.
believe it's just in the morning?
Right, it's just.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's the same presenter, too,
It's
from the
26th.
summer law conference that we
No,
just
September.
attended.
Yes.
It's coming
There's
up.
Because there's
many
so much
law-
going on.
yes.
8 to 12, okay. And that will be at the DoubleTree. And then just keep in mind, if we can get as many people going as possible to the one-day advocacy trip to Albany, it's Monday, December 9th. Leave about 7 a.m. and get home around 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It's a long day, but it's a good day. And I'm planning on going to that.
The people that haven't gone before, we don't, how do I say this? You don't have to talk at all. You can just be with us. And really, because they take people who have been experienced and they do all the talking, and you're just there as
Well, they need bodies.
Support.
right.
Right.
Yeah, because if only one person shows up, then it looks like,
Well,
that people can't be bothered. So if we can get, 2 or 3 from our district, that'd be great. And you ride a bus if you want, or you can drive.
Should I nudge Brian?
I think he's already stuck. I think it's already on his calendar. So, anyway, that's my report for this month. And Jan and I will be, we'll both try to go
Right.
every month.
I have babysitting duties this month.
I hear you.
And we have steering committee, information exchange, and executive committee all next week.
Yep.
So the meetings are beginning. And standing district committees. As with everything is just getting planned and underway, and we look forward to attending. Moving on to the consent, I'm sorry.
Okay. I was just going to ask Jan and Mike and maybe Dave and Brian. I was thinking of having our first policy meeting October 17th before our meeting, like 5 o'clock. Does that work
5 o'clock?
It's a Thursday.
They always are.
Policy meeting, okay.
What's so funny? What's so funny?
We have a board
What
meeting
day?
at 6:30.
Somebody said what
so we
day?
could-
The 17th, 5 o'clock-ish?
5 o'clock.
We'll get that on the
Yeah,
calendar.
it's
And
okay with
Brian,
that.
I'm sorry, Brian too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good, yeah, if you, perfect. So do 5 o'clock, and that'll give us plenty of time to figure out, or get a agenda going, because, you know, there's
We
going to
know
be, I suspect there'll be a lot on it, and, yeah.
We
So,
know which ones we're doing.
Yeah,
so-
we'll figure that out.
I'll do it for here.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I'll get dinner.
Okay, great. And then we have a tentative date of September 19th for the Strategic Planning Committee. Not everyone has responded. They want to see how, if we have enough people coming, but that's tentative, September 19th at 5 o'clock, prior to the board meeting.
Right.
Prior to new employee.
Yes. Yeah, it's just going to be a short meeting, 30 minutes, just to get ourselves organized. And, okay, that's it, I'm sorry.
No, thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. Everyone's had a chance to review all the items therein. Can we have a motion, please, to Jan?
accept.
Thank you.
I so
Accept the
move.
consent agenda. Second, Maria, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion is unanimous. Thank you. That concludes our business for the evening. And can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
In a second.
Sue and Linda, thank you all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.